वाह जी वाह, क्या बात है। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस ऑन 420 ग्राम्स। आपने ये नहीं सोचा होगा कि हम आपके सामने आने वाले हैं, हैं? आपने ये लगा होगा कि भाई जब भारतीय टीम खेलती है तभी आते हैं ये लोग, अपनी गुफा से निकलते हैं। आपने ये अंदाजा नहीं लगाया होगा कि आ गए यहाँ पे, ये तो आईएसएल के प्लेऑफ्स आ गए भाई। 60 लाख से ज़्यादा लोगों ने देखा है ऑन अ डे व्हेन नॉट टू फार अवे फ्रॉम द Kartirwa. Royal Challengers Bangalore were playing in the IPL. So that in itself is a great advertisement for Indian football. And a pat on the back for everyone who made it to the stadium, a pat on the back for everyone who's watching this game, and including the four of us on this panel. Thank you so much for joining us on 420 grams. We're joined by Ishfaq Ahmed. Sir, good to see you as always with good Wi-Fi. बातें हो गई हैं ऑलरेडी बिफोर द शो स्टार्टेड कि वाईफाई चेक हो गया है, केबल लग गई है, लैंड केबल हो गया है, सब सेट हो गया है। उन्हीं के साथ है हमारे प्रिय मित्र जॉय गेब्रियल coming back for the second time on our show. Joy, lovely to have you, bhai, and really looking forward to some of the insights that you'll be throwing our way. And also, ये sir, who are you? आप कौन हो? कौन ये बंदा?
New guy, bro. Young blood.
New guy? Young blood?
Yeah.
ये क्या मतलब है भाई? This is not fair यार. ये क्यों
भाई
क्यों?
वो AI सीखने के चक्कर में थोड़ा पहले तो ये बताओ, वीडियो ऑडियो मेरा लैग तो नहीं कर रहा है?
थोड़ा बीच बीच में कर रहा है, वो आपकी पर्सनैलिटी के साथ।
चलो तो ऐसा करते हैं, फिर आप लोग बात करें, मैं थोड़ा सुनता हूँ, लुक प्रिटी करता हूँ, बीच बीच में फोटो डालते रहूंगा।
सर पिछले तीन शो से आप यही कर रहे हो सर, तो कहीं ना कहीं आप सर्विस प्रोवाइडर को फोन करो और जरा अपना मामला ठीक करो, आ जाना बीच बीच में, मैं आपको ले आऊंगा। इशफाक, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद यू ब्रदर। द गेम
सर
ऑफ कोर्स
सर्विस
फर्स्ट
प्रोवाइडर
लेग
आपको
राइट नाउ
पता है ना
गेम।
कौन है?
जय माता दी, लेट्स मूव ऑन। So first leg, Bengaluru FC beating FC Goa in that first leg 2-0 at the Kantirva. Some would say deserved win. Some would say you had a good game of football. And for all the work that FC Goa was doing, did not even manage a single shot on target in the entire game. Sir, कैसा लगा आपको ये मुकाबला?
Well, I think as you already like gave the summary, and that's how it ended up. For me, Goa had tactically covered it very well, but without number 9, when you have so much of feeding getting from right, left, good crosses, really good crosses, but no one to finish. And same time, you have to give credit to the Bengaluru defense; they held very strongly, very well. One of the reason can be, as you rightly said, there was not a single shot on target. Is that there was no someone, a proper finisher to finish the game. I think that is where
Yep.
Goa lost it, and you have to give to credit to Bangalore. Two attacks, one coming from a mistake with the first one. Till this Goa were playing very simple. One mistake by Boris cutting in and losing the ball, and
Yes.
that's how it opened up. I think. Uh, Give Bangalore to credit. They
Mm-hmm.
made those moves look very dangerous and got the goals also, and uh, give them that credit for that. And that's what at the end matters, especially in these kind of playoffs. You need results. Sometimes, as a coach, also you may play ugly, but 3 points is needed, and that's what very job well done, Bangalore.
Guys, before we proceed further, is someone's TV on? If it's on, आप उसका please volume off कर दो. It's creeping into the broadcast. Joy, was it that kind of a game? Okay, so let's put aside that one quarter of the pitch, right, where FC Goa was pretty much negligible, and that is inside for all the deliveries that were coming inside. But other than that, the other areas of the pitch, do you suppose FC Goa was matching BFC, or for at least large
No,
parts of the game, were they matching BFC?
no, both different ways of how they approach the game because BFC has the bandwidth to play direct because they have good to put the ball 75% of the pitch, and they also have tall players like Mendes, uh, to hold the ball. Even Ryan is not bad in the head; he's good in aerial game. And to finish the game, they had Sunil. So they have the options to play direct. And with the 4-3-3, where they had the three offensive players, they had more
Mm-hmm.
tools to play direct and avoid the press of Goa. But of course, like you said Goa had no shots, but I think there were two shots. Boris took one shot on target, and there were two shots on target for Goa in the game. But Goa had two shots on targets, but not from the offensive players. This is something the difference between Bengaluru and Goa, because Iker is a very good player who can play between lines. But after 2-0, always a team like BFC can give Goa the ball and say, you play in our pitch, but no problem. They were in good compact lines, defended deep, waiting for the transitions, and they were comfortable. Unless Goa did something more with the ball, it was difficult for Goa. And Nogueira was the difference. Iker could be the same player for Goa, similar to Nogueira, who can do a lot of work. But Nogueira did a lot of work, which released the pressure of Mendes, Ryan, and even Sunil when he played. But Goa had nobody that Iker could take the pressure off and release the final balls to. It was only Bryson and Udanta, but no goal scorers up close to goal. And Goa also, it's interesting that except Odai and the goalkeeper, all the other players in Goa have scored goals in this season. One goal at least.
तो
But
आज हो
finally,
गया क्या सर फिर? What happened then?
no, it's the
It didn't seem
typical.
like an 11 that was overawed by the game. It's a very experienced 11 that's been in this situation many times in the past.
But it's a typical semi-final. Both teams started very safe, and like Ishwak said, when you don't have that striker who's always going to play between centre backs, Beke and Sana will find it very easy to defend. And always there was one player in Bengaluru nobody speaks about, which is Capo. Pedro Capo was right in front
Yes,
of
in the
Beke and
middle.
Sana. He didn't move anywhere else, so it was always difficult for Goa to do a lot of, and it was Iker around three players. It's impossible that Iker does all the hard work for Goa.
Fair. Any भाई, before of course we get into the game, यार सर आज IPL चल रहा है. ये देखो. सर, that in itself is a good statement, sir. IPL चल रहा है, स्टेडियम भरा हुआ था, not too far away. The cricket team is playing. विराट कोहली साहब खेल रहे हैं, सिराज साहब वापस आए हैं, बट बंदे देख रहे हैं.
या बहुत बढ़िया
It's a
भाई.
good
वो
number.
नंबर्स देख के मतलब काफी अच्छा लगा. They've, I guess, tweaked the algorithm a bit to say views instead of viewers, so we don't know how many people are actually watching the game, which is fair
So,
enough,
but
I
at least
guess.
you've clicked on it. You've clicked on it. You clicked on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now, how long
At
you've been
some
there, that's a
point,
different
people have
thing.
come to yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so of course, I mean, all of these things are subject to a little more digging, right? कि like इनमें से कितने आए हैं, because जब आप हॉटस्टार खोल रहे हैं तो ये आपके होम स्क्रीन पे है, तो does that count as a click or not? But irrespective, I was watching Arsenal Fulham late last night, early this morning, whatever it is. उसके मुताबिक जो फिगर्स थे, आई थिंक इस गेम के काफी
इसके
बेहतर थे
बेहतर
उससे.
है. बेहतर. ये तो पुरानी कहानी है सर.
काफी
पुरानी
बेहतर.
कहानी है ये.
हाँ. तो मतलब ये तो ऑब्वियस है यार. ये तो अब हम काफी सालों से बोल रहे हैं कि हिंदुस्तान में फुटबॉल का जोश है, जुनून है, इंटरेस्ट है, सब कुछ है. एंड जब मतलब इफ यू आर टेकिंग इनटू कॉन्टेक्स्ट काइंड ऑफ गोवा एंड बैंगलोर, two markets that have been developed specifically by the ISL in this context. Goa, of course, has been a football kind of stronghold forever and ever. But Bangalore has been built up. Home game, I mean, like they pride themselves on the fortress and how well they do at home, you know. And it's a cosmopolitan squad. आई थिंक 3-4 मणिपुर से हैं, इधर उधर से हैं लड़के, केरला से हैं, वहाँ से हैं, यहाँ से लोकल भी हैं एक दो. तो of course foreign players as well. So in all of that coming together, it's becoming the product or the thing that we want to watch. Is it there yet or not? I guess we'll talk about as things go on. But
it's a good day. It's a good day for a league striving
absolutely,
to,
yeah.
still.
We
It's a
saw
good
the
day
first leg
in all
of a
respects.
playoff
It wasn't a bad game to watch as well.
and
It
wasn't a bad game to
open
watch
play
at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
मैं तो इशफाक, in fact, मैं अगर आप बेंगलुरु का, मैं see, I'll put my hand up. Annie there with me as well. We haven't seen too much of the football this year. वो तो आत्मा आ गई अंदर से कि जी चलो अब नॉकआउट्स में थोड़ी बात करते हैं आईएसएल की. बट आज जितना भी बेंगलुरु एफसी को देखा, दिस सीम्ड लाइक अ वेरी डिफरेंट बेंगलुरु फ्रॉम द वन दैट आई हैव बीन सीइंग over the last 2 years at least. And I'm not putting aside कि मतलब जो results देखने को मिला है, but I just felt that एक stop start, एक fluidity नहीं दिखी, एक flow नहीं दिखा यहाँ पे उनके play में. आज जो 90 मिनट में जो game देख रहा था, especially first half, which I said I enjoyed seeing the first half. Second half में मैं कहीं ना कहीं ध्यान भटक गया, which is a modern day problem. कहीं ना कहीं तो पूरा concentrate नहीं किया. But it was one thing that was being seen is कि जब आप अटैक पे जा रहे हो और झट से बॉल रिलीज कर रहे हो, झट से आप रिलीज कर रहे हो, तो सेकंड मूव के लिए, थर्ड मूव के लिए भी बंदा निकल रहा है, and that in itself tells you about how quickly everyone is moving. And so you saw a couple of those moves in that first half. Is this something that Zaragoza has brought about? Because sir, अगर आप बेंच को देखो तो आपका वो डियाज तो बैठा हुआ था, पवन पुत्र हनुमान भी वहां बैठे हुए थे. So in a sense you've taken a big call, but it's worked, and it's worked very well that way.
I think Jorge is coming from injury, so he may not be exactly the full 90 minutes fitness still to regain his full fitness. Because I think, if Joy, I'm not right, it's his second match only after fitness, after regaining full fitness for the getting green signal from their medical staff. But yes, like I watched early, like at the start of when ISL started. Bengaluru looked very good in very strong side beginning of the season. Then there was a dip where they hardly collected, like 1 or 2 points from 8 matches or something like that. And I'm glad, like they picked up again, and in a very crucial phase where it's going to be playoff, and where it matters most now. Like I think one of the things which helped them getting off late very good results at home. The playoffs before this, where they were really really good. I think they were fantastic, and I think getting that run continuously and who are not playing since the last league match can sometimes have a huge effect. And Bengaluru coming with a fantastic win at home against Mumbai City had actually shown you two chances. Game was over. Like that they could have actually scored the Williams. Almost scored the third one as well. But that's what like happens when you are in a good rhythm, and that's what happened today also. Bengaluru has been doing now off late very good at home, and they got these 2 matches at home, and they took full advantage of that. And you have to give credit to Bengaluru how they played it. I think defensive they were strong, as Joy like
सर उस लड़के के बारे में बताओ जो राइट फुल पे खेल रहा था, यंग लड़का, बड़ा तगड़ा लगा वो लड़का.
No, I think honestly, I feel entire team did, but there was a lot of labor done by Suresh, who was going all the time left, where Goa put a lot of concentration, was like deliberately put there. Getting crosses in Udanta was fantastic with the crosses. I was really happy to see him. The types of crosses, early crosses, or even from the deep crosses. They were fine, but as I told you, as Joy also told, but there was no one to finish. You see their set pieces, nobody, and sometimes a a good goal scorer. I won't say a top goal scorer, a good goal scorer also. He anticipates the ball to go to in first post. You see their second half corners. They have not won a single first touch. Most of the touches was won by first touch, which we coaches and Joy knows it. The critical and crucial part is winning the first ball in set pieces also. And I don't think they have won that especially in the towards the end when there were, I think, a lot of set pieces. And you have to give credit to the Bengaluru for that. They stood tall, and it's going to be difficult now for Bengaluru.
I don't understand one thing. You said something about the strikers. Now, of course, this is the culmination of a season, right, Joy? पूरा season आपका निकला है. एक मिनट सर. पूरा सीजन आपका निकला है, it's a culmination of a season. Have they gone the entire season like this
No,
with
but
not having
you
a
know
proper
this
number
cannot
9? Because
this
there was a
this
Sadiq on the
this.
bench as well, sir. उसको देखा
No,
नहीं क्या?
it's not only about the goal, because you can say that you can have all the goals and not make it to the top six. Imagine Odisha, the one of the team with the most goals scored in the competition. We still have strikers. We have golden boots in our team. We have more than one golden boot in our team, and we are out of the playoff. So you need to have balance, and sometimes it happens. It's a knockout game. Playoffs was a knockout game, and BFC, the advantage was they played a knockout game a couple of days back, and Goa
Hmm.
didn't play a competition official game in a long time. There was a FIFA break in between, and maybe they played for sure they would have played a friendly game in these days, but it's not the same to play a friendly game and to play an ISL playoff. So BFC played a high scoring playoff game couple of days ago, 5 goals against Mumbai. They came in a best moment, and also the first goal is not a fantastic goal scored by BFC. It's a goal because small details by
Hmm.
experienced backline of FC Goa. There's a
They
cross,
were not
and then
ready.
the
They
ball.
were still thinking of offside, absolutely. And
you
the
you
cross
can't be
by the time.
watching the
True.
and the league has no VAR, so normal. You have to be ready. You have all the experience that the ball is out, and also if it is a team like Jamshedpur or another team where after a clearance they don't push up, you don't have to
Hmm.
worry because you are all close to your goalkeeper. But teams like Goa, where after every clearance they push up,
Translation is
probably
going
they
through.
thought we already pushed up and the player is an offside. Let's ask for the offside. But body position, looking at players who are coming from behind, it's a poor goal to concede at top tier football. This cannot happen even in Premier League. But this small detail can maybe throw you out in one leg of the semi-final. The second goal was simple football, one to pass, and then again penalty spot. If you don't mark, you will concede a goal. Normal.
Game is very much alive for you, Joy.
For me, the game is live more than football. It was more duels and second balls. Suresh, Tawara players, who
No,
different players.
I mean, game is
So
alive in the
what
sense
what
that
he
we
means,
have a
Joy,
second
is
leg. I'm
like
saying this tie
Qualification.
is
second leg,
alive, right, for you?
second
This
leg
tie is
For
zinda
alive for
hai.
me,
you?
for me, the third goal for BFC can kill the game, or the 2-1 for Bengaluru for Goa can put Goa back in the game, because
Hmm.
2-1 is more Goa favorite to win, but 3-0 is game over.
I was
Because Annie
recently
bhai,
in
हाँ जी
Goa.
sir, हाँ जी.
Temperature can change things.
Hi. Sir, वहाँ पे Wi-Fi can also change things, as we experienced a few nights
Oh
Honestly,
back.
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
whoever, if Goa, don't count Goa out at home. I think that's not an easy place to play. And
Exactly.
Fatorda is a massive ground to cover all the angles, to cover all the place. It's not going to be easy. As Joy said, if Bengaluru scores a goal, then it might be a little bit too much for Goa.
Hmm.
But yes, not
सर
scoring a
ये
single goal.
पर ये सवाल अच्छा पूछा है क्योंकि आप गोल्स की बात कर रहे हो और मैंने इस लड़के के बारे में बहुत सुना है. डज ही जनरली प्ले टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट? ही वाज हगिंग, मतलब वो लेफ्ट फ्लैंक को ही पकड़ के खेल रहा था, थोड़ा बहुत देख रहे थे, तेज था. बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ समवन हु स्कोरिंग सो मेनी गोल्स, आई डिडंट सी
I
टू
think
मच फ्रॉम हिम.
honestly, he's a young boy. He will learn more. I felt he was not visible too much today.
यस.
Whenever the ball, or he didn't make run. What he did, like he waited all the time out wide on the wing to receive the ball.
Hmm.
If you see the entire match, he has not make a single run. Somebody coming and going in.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
modern football, a winger receiving ball, cutting in, taking shot is fine. What are you doing when somebody else is crossing? Can you come behind or through or just get ahead of your defense? Where there were so many balls like that, where not only him, any other go on striker or at attacking player could have gone in front or scoring the goal, because some of the balls dropped in penalty area behind the defense, and nobody was there to finish those balls. But Bryson, I think he has to do more show. Sometimes you can't wait things to happen, happen. You have to make things happen when these kind of matches are there. So you have to be a little bit proactive. He has the pace, he has tremendous shooting ability. I think he's still young. When it comes to the match time and everything, I think yes, he was not exactly the same how he has been in entire ISL. Could be the occasion. You never know. Like these are the things where
Of
you
course, yeah, it's
excel
a
or
big
you,
game.
yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. This tie is very much alive, and I think Joy summed it up very nicely, and you also put it out there. One more goal either side, and we would probably not
Oh,
be talking about it. And,
true. It will
we
be.
would probably not be talking about it. Annie bhai, the first goal, so Joy said, and rightfully said also, it was a switch off moment. Both Joy, Ishfaq saying switch off हो गया defense, और वो कितनी बारी देखा है कि ये offside, 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 लो जी goal, खा के चलो जी पीछे. Wapas ball center line. But that second goal, anyway, and what we were talking about Bengaluru FC, there was a certain fluidity to play, everything tough. And it's not like कि ball slow चल रहा है. मैंने उनका देख रहा था second half में जब वो attack कर रहे होते हैं opposition half में, they move the ball forward very quickly. ये नहीं कि टप चल रहे हैं, टक टक 2-3 पास, वो उनका एक वो दिख रहा है कि 3-4 पास में गोल तक पहुंचो. And in that culmination came with that second goal, beautifully finished as well.
Yeah,
But
bhai.
also the second goal, I think more was, Goa was in control. In that moment, Goa was trying to get control of the game. And Boris, it was a chance for Boris. Maybe it could have been danger for Goa. Boris dribbled past the press. Goa overloaded the flank. Boris was coming in dribbling. And Suresh, again, physical duel. BFC recovered the ball. And when teams like BFC recover the ball and Goa are spread out wide open because two different teams, because Goa are more positional football. And BFC, the moment they recover from their good tight block, the moment they recover the ball, when players like Suresh recover the ball, the only thing they have to look forward is their offensive players. And then after losing simple balls, they started conceding. Same like Suresh got the ball from Boris in the first goal. The second one was simple. Huge line of Goa, one simple 1-2 pass. And the moment there is a 1-2 behind the back of the defense, the only thing the Goa defenders need to know is, okay, how many players of the opponent jersey are in the box, and you have to make sure that they don't touch the ball. Goa had enough players to defend the second goal, but poor Udanta ball watching the opponent in front. And Mendes is a very good player with enough experience in Spain. And it's a basic goal to concede. And, with two
Agreed.
zero.
Agreed, bhai. I understand what led to that action. I understand what led to that action. But my point is, even in those moments, when you lose possession, you still have the work to do. And that's something I saw in this BFC team. You didn't waste time. Tha, 3 touches, ball in the back of the net. Khatam kahani. And that is something I really liked in their offense. And at least from a footballing perspective, Annie, and we keep talking about this league and we saying, is this league giving you moments to remember? Is the league giving you moments to look back and say, I'll remember that move? चाहे वो आपने वो लड़के ने पोजीशन वहां पे खोया, it was a good move to watch. It was a good goal, good cross, and a good finish at the end of that.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like, since Joy is, the right guy to have on this show in terms of breaking it down for us, in the sense of how this sport actually works, right?
Yes.
How many goals are scored as a percentage, ना जिसमें आप 20 बार बॉल को टच कर रहे हैं, और हाउ मेनी गोल्स आर स्कोर्ड जिसमें 3 बार या 4 बार टच कर रहे हैं, चाहे आप ब्राजील हो, क्रोएशिया हो, फ्रांस हो, जो भी हो ना. हाउ मेनी टाइम्स does one happen versus the other? And Joy will give us figures, I'm sure, like off the top of his head even, to say that mostly 3 या 4 पास में भाई गोल होता है ना. When you can move quickly, when you can spot that gap, when you can make the space and you find yourself in a good position, that's how you score goals. The rest, otherwise, it has to do with really good hard work. Everyone can't be a Barcelona, right? And we are not watching Barcelona play here. So to see BFC go from how the season started for me to where they've come now, where they are able to make that kind of switch, right? Able to switch on, able to connect with each other, and capitalize on opportunities that emerge when they do, irrespective of talent ho ya coaching ho ya jo bhi ho. जो भी आपके पर्सनल प्रेफरेंसेस हो, that aside, right? It was a great goal to watch and like, oh wow, मजा
Yeah.
आया ना, yeah,
हम्म,
कि like
No,
बिल्कुल.
if you take the players out of
playoff game में ऐसा गोल होना चाहिए.
100%. Yeah,
exactly, if
100%.
you take the Goa players out of that image, it will be the typical goal which coaches do in training, with mannequins
Yep.
and
Yes,
poles.
yes, you're right.
Simple 1-2 cross and finish. So the only thing here is they executed it perfectly. Simple players at the right time, exact crossing, first touch or whenever. And also, this is a proper striker's goal. If you had another player who's not a striker, he will take more than one touch. So this is the difference.
So the right person in the right space to do the right job, right? And then like
Exactly.
a coaching mechanism or a playing mechanism that works. And they've gone from potentially not qualifying for the playoffs, right?
Bailog,
Over
this is called momentum. That's what I told
Ye-
you. When you are
सर,
same.
with
थैंक
good
यू. थैंक
confidence
यू
and
सर.
momentum,
ये सर
he
इंग्लिश ऑनर्स वाले हैं.
yeah, that is in football called with the like in a good momentum you are coming. That's why I said
Yes.
they are having
अपने
a
आप गैप खुलता
excellent
है, अपने आप रन
confidence.
बनता है.
Exact.
अपने
Exact.
अपने आप अपने आप प्लेयर उधर पहुंच जाते हैं. And what
हम्म,
happened and in this match when we were talking about Goa was not playing with the proper number 9 and the other guys were not going into the good place. Otherwise, trust me, Goa made some fantastic moves and put some really good balls. And that is what now we want to see the second match, whether they can get an early goal or not. Whether I don't think Bengaluru will change their style because that's what has given them success. They
Is
want to
this the
win.
best you've seen them play these last few years, Ishwak? Is this the best you've seen them play?
I don't agree that. I think they had a mix kind of thing. I think Bangalore earlier had played better football, dominating
Hmm.
football. I don't think they dominate, but I think they learned how to get results,
Hmm.
which was like again, which is a good sign actually. But overall, you can say the balanced football. I think they defense wise, midfield, and they complement each other. People are working really hard, which I have to
Hmm.
give credit to coach. Like he's not afraid of putting young players and all that. They are doing the job, and everyone else is like running and working for the team. I think he has come out with the one good blend, which is called a good football team. Like they are playing like as a team, whether they are not playing like that attractive football, but they are working hard together. And some matches you will see like they want to see the result, and they have done. Last match you see they dominated. They scored on almost every move against
Hmm.
Mumbai, and
But
they did. And in today's match, they had a proper plan. They wanted to sit little bit and make it compact, and then hit them little bit harder, which is like faster at the pace. That's why you saw those moves like very direct, where Joy said they played little direct, and which actually gave them the 3 points in this match. You have to give credit to them. They read the game properly.
Hmm.
Uh, they knew that.
maybe sorry भाई, go on.
अरे बोलो यार कोई बात नहीं.
नहीं, मैं कह रहा था जॉय बिकॉज काफी एनालाइज करता है ना, तो उस
जॉय
हिसाब
का
से
काम है भाई, उसी का पैसा लेता है वो.
तो
हाँ.
सवाल पूछना था उस हिसाब से कि ये जो आप फर्क बता रहे हैं ना कि मेरी टीम है, मैं ऐसा खेलूंगा, ये तो एक हो गया स्टैंस, राइट. दूसरा हो गया कि मैं पढ़ूंगा दूसरी टीम को, अपनी टीम की स्ट्रेंथ्स और वीकनेसेस एनालाइज करूंगा, ऑफ कोर्स वो जो हमेशा होता ही है, बट खेलूंगा गेम ऐसा जैसे दूसरी टीम का वीकनेस एक्सप्लॉइट करूं. तो जॉय, फ्रॉम दैट perspective, if I may ask you, how did you, like, maybe as a video analyst or someone breaking the game down into that like mold and giving it to a coach to digest, right? कि क्या आपने सही किया, क्या आपने गलत किया, what were your kind of takeaways from what you saw in these 90 plus minutes?
No, for me, the only strength of Goa that BFC killed today was Goa's 2v1 on the flanks, because BFC had the ability to put one player more. It was always 2v2 on the flanks. Despite that, Goa managed to have a lot of crosses because they managed to move the ball from one side to another with good
Hmm.
intensity and good tempo. But this maybe okay, they had 8 attempts shots, but 8 attempts from players who have scored from even outside the box, and they were outside today. Maybe in another day they could be on target or could be goals because there are players who score from outside the box as well. Bora scores from outside the box. Bryson shoots from outside the box. But it is that day, like Ishwat said, the momentum that maybe this day the balls are not for you. One FIFA break, and you see the Golden Boot Aladdin, who couldn't score for Northeast the other day. He took maybe 170 shots. Literally, should be more the number this season. Maybe 170 was before the last game, 150 to
Hmm.
170 shots. And in that, he scored, more goals this season, close to Bartok Beche. So, in fact, the number. And last game, you see him struggling because the shots from under the goalpost were going outside the goal. The only thing what Goa can do now, like he said, is they know basically you can't come to a playoff being ready to know a semi-final where you need to know the weakness of the opponent.
Yeah.
Goa for sure played them twice this season, and coaches know the coaches. Coaches don't change everything in a day. Gerard Zaragoza will not be another coach in just because of one game which they played 5 days ago. So coaches know each other, players know the coaches and the opponents. So more than the opponents, it's more about every second ball, every pass, every action like this. First goal they conceded, the focus, concentration, which will be the difference in semifinals.
But
Maybe
but
if you
but but
say,
but but Joy,
yeah.
I don't get it. If you're down 2-0 in the game, and whatever Sadiku must be, and whatever he's been in the season, why not play that चाल? मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही है. At the end of the day,
No,
चाल
yes,
चल दो.
exactly. Maybe the coach could have played him in the minute 80 or 70 or 75.
Yeah, like
But
yeah, exactly.
it depends on them as to finally the mind of the coach during the game. Ishwak is the head coach himself. So it's not the same as analysts or fans. Coaches think a million things. And if in one moment he thought, okay, I have to put Sadiku, but if you put Sadiku, you'll have to play more to him. You can't put one Sadiku and
Yes.
pass the same balls as you pass to Iker. You can't play pass to Sadiku's feet, or you can't, because he's the player who likes to hold. But of course, you can't play one ball into space, and Sadiku will not receive and turn, like Iker does in between.
Hmm.
So maybe you
Hmm.
put
Hmm.
Sadiku minute 75, and then you give an indication to your goalkeeper and your defenders that, okay, now goal kick for us, BFC are in their box. Let's put every ball to Sadiku, because this player will stand there and say, put the ball to my chest or to my head. And every ball from minute 70 will be like, a duel. And when you're losing 2-0, every ball, if they go to Gurpreet or to the pitch outside, you will play out of 20. Maybe the active game is going to be 2-3 minutes. The ball will be out of play for 10 minutes.
Hmm.
So maybe the coach is thinking, I want to play more minutes. So when you want to play more minutes, you need more technical players. After Ayush came, you saw how Goa controlled the ball in the final third. When Ayush
Hmm.
came, Iker was more free because Iker was only doing the job of moving the ball. When Ayush came, Ayush did that, and then Iker was able to at least move in front of defenders. So this could be something they could do better in the second half, in the second leg.
Fair point. Ishwak, were you also a little surprised कि साडिको को खिलाया नहीं? Because see, कभी-कभी क्या होता है, what we don't realize sometimes is कि coach उसको ऐसे टाइम पे देख रहा है जब कोई नहीं देख रहा होता. So maybe कभी-कभी वो भी होता है कि आपको feel नहीं आ रही कि मतलब player is ready, player is on for this game. But even then, when you're down 2-0 in a game, and Joy has broken it down beautifully from a tactical point of view, but when you're down 2-0 from a game, tactics aside, you just say, yeah, okay, I look at my bench, and I see there's a guy here who's a big match player, who scored
I
goals at the highest level over here. Just play him, man. देखी जाएगी
no,
जो होगा.
I feel the only thing for me which I couldn't understand, there was a deliberate attempt to have a lot of crosses, early crosses.
Hmm.
Why? Why was that when you had a false number 9 playing? Uh, where you need a short passes on his feet to, like in front of goal rather than. That is where I am little bit confused. I don't know. We don't know yet whether the striker was fully fit or how what happened in past training sessions. You have to give the coaches, as Joy said, have to think
Yes.
too many things. How was he training? What happened? Like there are so many things. Was he carrying a small niggle? So sometimes these things, like only coaches know and the staff know. And but my only thing was like, uh, if they would have played more like rather than going for early crosses and everything, I think they could have got out of something in this match rather than that's how I am thinking, and maybe you can ask the Joy. uh,
Yeah.
that's what I felt. Like because there were no one proper number 9 who can go and
Yeah.
meet the ball or connect or make those runs in front of the defense to meet that early cross, and that was not happening for me. That is where Goa lost the match. You can play good football, you can keep the ball, you can do everything, but you need somebody to finish those balls. That's why in football there are 2 goals, and if you cannot do that, I'm sorry, you don't deserve them to win the match. And you see the other team. Honestly, I feel Goa had more ball position and kept nicely than
Mm.
Bangalore. But Bangalore looked very dangerous whenever they got the ball in attacking third of their attacking third or defensive third of the Goa. They looked more like likely to score goal than Goa.
Fair point. Also, anyway, in a sense, cup football, elimination football. There have been people who said maybe this league should just become a complete league because that's the way the leagues are. But again, cup football brings a sense of urgency. It brings an equation into it. It
Different
brings a
mentality.
sense of what if from a viewer perspective, right? We're already talking, is this game alive in the second leg? Now, all the build up to the second leg will be what can FC Goa bring to the table? Do Bengaluru FC come in with the same? You started with Sunil on the bench. So there is a what if factor moving into the next game as well. And when the game is so closely contested, or maybe not as closely, but closely contested in the way that it was at Kantirba, it sort of sets you up for the next game as well. So in a sense, wo jo, people flying the jhanda high for playoff football, in that sense, it's also been a win. You see the numbers watching the
Yes,
game.
100%. Even the substitution of BFC to bring on Pereira and Sunil at the same moment. If you see Pereira and Sunil coming on, despite them having the lead, this can happen only when they are playing at home because they are playing in
Hmm.
Kantirava. So they won't go to the second leg and after 1-0 or 0,
Yeah, shut it
maybe
down.
2-0 or 1-0, they won't bring on Sunil and, the same players. They will probably bring on Alex, the center back who is going to retire, to finish off the game with good defensive work. But you know that they are playing at home, and the reason also with Sadiko, for sure, Goa would have thought maybe after 2-0 I will put Sadiko, and then let's see if we get the game, if we get 2-1. But maybe they are thinking is better because maybe we put Sadiko, and then the entire team has to play for Sadiko. And if you concede the 3-0, the game is over. So probably they're
Ooh.
thinking, let's play like how we have played most of the season, keeping
Same
the
for
ball,
Sunil.
trying to see.
Now, for
Yeah,
me, in my mind, it's the same for Sunil. Like if, for example, Goa is making a plan to counter this guy, right? And he's sitting on the bench. Yeah. You don't know how the first 60, 70 minutes are going to go. And you don't know, firstly, that he's going to be on the bench. Maybe you know for some reason or whatever it is. But when he does come on, he requires a change in your mentality, your thought process, your instructions to your players to say कि भाई इस बंदे को देखना एटलीस्ट ना, थोड़ा सा इसको अपने चेक में रखना कि ये कहाँ घूम रहा है, क्या कर रहा है, थोड़ा ड्रॉप बैक कर रहा है, आगे कर रहा है, क्या कर रहा है. Just keep an eye on him. I
it's
mean
it should
that
be like that.
not,
Be more safe.
huh?
Both teams should want to be very safe now. Now you know the
Yeah,
score.
yeah, yeah. Of course,
This
yeah.
game you start without knowing the score. Now you start another game knowing the score. But it depends on the experience and the maturity of the players. Because from minute one, imagine normal throw in for BFC minute one. You think BFC will run to take the ball? It's impossible they run to take the ball. But a throw in
Or
for Goa
even they
minute
won't
one,
commit many players for that also.
exactly. And throw in for Goa minute one, they will push, and by the
Push.
pass of the minutes, if the players lose focus, then it's difficult. But if they are calm and they are focused in the game, maybe at 2-1, and if Fatoda, with to play in Fatoda, like Ishwak said, is very difficult. And if it's 2-1, there is no away goals. Goa only need one more goal to get back in the game. And if it's shootout, you can imagine a shootout where you do the shootout in front of your home fans. So there's a lot of other things. So 2-0 is not game over. It will be just a bright game where the most focused team will win the game.
We have played
I
3-0.
agree. I
It's not
We have played
agree.
game
3-0
over at
against
all. Huh? And
over.
I also want to bring in one like little personal angle. हाँ अपने अपने दो भाई हैं जो दोनों असिस्टेंट कोच हैं एक
हाँ आज 420 ग्राम्स असिस्टेंट कोच
राइट
गेम हुआ आज फर्स्ट लेग
मंगी इज एट गोवा एंड ऑफ
आई
कोर्स
होप कि उन्होंने कुछ गाली वाली दिया होगा एक दूसरे को मणिपुरी में.
भाई
कुछ
हम
तो दिया होगा
दे रहे
सर,
थे
इतना तो
गाली
बनता ही है.
इंग्लिश में हिंदी में मणिपुरी में हर जगह में गाली दे रहे थे हम दोनों को.
It will be
नहीं
interesting,
नहीं,
huh?
एक
But
दूसरे को एक दूसरे को
नहीं मैं बोल रहा
the
था एक
second leg
दूसरे
will
को.
be.
एक दूसरे के साथ तो कुछ नहीं करेंगे ना, थोड़ा क्यूट हैं दोनों.
I was saying the
लेकिन
second leg will be interesting. You know why? Because you would remember last year when you mentioned Mangi. I remember now because last year we played Mumbai Goa, the first leg in Goa, and we were minute 90 2-0, and the game finished minute 96 3-2 for Mumbai with Indians on the pitch. You know they've got
Yes.
Jayesh and all of this. So
yeah.
it's just a matter of one action that could kill the entire game. So today that
And
happened to
changes the
Goa.
mood, yeah.
So this happened to Goa, and with players like Pereira Diaz, Noguera, all these smart players who are always waiting for the action. Okay, foul, they keep the ball and play. Okay, set piece, they know how to push the player and run. The same in Goa, there is experience, but it's not the same experience that Bryson has or the other
अरे
players
भाई
have.
अभी संदेश को वापस भी मारना है, उसने किया है तो वापस भी मारना है.
Exactly, and today also you would have seen there was good blocks Goa did in set pieces for Sandesh, but finally it didn't arrive. So they will try maybe one set piece, and in games like this
नहीं
where
गोवा में
you shoot,
I have played enough in that ground. I'm telling you that ground you are never 2-0. You are
मजेदार
never
ग्राउंड है
safe.
सर. अरे सर बहुत
exactly.
बहुत सर मलाई है वो ग्राउंड. अरे सर बहुत मजेदार ग्राउंड है वो. अरे
This thing like and teams who like I have played for Salgaonkar and Dempo there. Like koi bhi team ho, doesn't matter when we were in I League and all that. When you come in that ground, it's a completely different game.
You are going to play
खुला
Churchill
मैदान है ना
now.
सर. खुला मैदान है ना सर.
But we are playing at home. We are not playing there.
Exactly. You're playing in the mountain now.
That's okay. We have made TRC ground also like same.
उस पे अलग बात करेंगे मेरे भाई. हाँ
We have made
सर
TRC
मैं
also like बाबा इधर आना है 3 पॉइंट छोड़ के जाना है, no problem.
हाँ
बाकी
और क्या,
घूमो फिरो
तुम
गुलमर्ग
और
जाओ.
मैं इस पे अलग बात करेंगे. हाँ
ये देखो सर, लड़के आपके लीग के बारे में, आईलीग के बारे में बात करे जा रहे हैं.
अरे
हम जानबूझ के उसको छू नहीं रहे क्योंकि वो ना हम भी वो क्या कहते हैं ना वो मिर्ची नींबू वाले लोग हैं. तो जब
नकली हो
एक बारी हो जाए, नहीं एक बारी हो जाए उसके बाद हम कहेंगे हमने तो बोला था. देखो जी ये देखो क्या बात है, हमने कहा था.
मेरे इनविजिबल
But-
एट होम नहीं, नेक्स्ट टाइम इंशाल्लाह फुल सीजन इनविजिबल अवे आल्सो.
हाय 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 सर, उसके बारे में बातचीत
Fully.
करेंगे क्योंकि कुछ ही दिन में
अरे भाई मैं आर्सेनल फैन हूं
अ,
यार. We don't believe in trophies. We believe only being invisible.
second or third place.
but I'm just saying there is a romance to cup football. There is a romance to cup football. It suddenly the tempo of the game goes up. नहीं भाई, मैं जिसकी मुकाबले की बात कर रहे हैं उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. There's a romance to cup football. There's a romance to two-legged football. कि मतलब जो जीतेगा आगे बढ़ेगा, जो हारेगा उसका टूर्नामेंट का पत्ता कटेगा और वो घर वापस जाएगा. It's invariably brings out something from players. It invariably brings out something different in terms of
extra.
tactics. Joy said it very nice, something very nice as well, where you're planning and you're probably doing something in the first leg, but you also got a mind into what the second leg is. And I don't know about you guys. I used to love the away goal rule, but now that over years that I've started seeing it, possibly earlier I used to hate it because it was something that was taken away from me. But now I'm more in favor of not having the away goal. Not having the away goal rule really opens up the second leg. So in that
Yes,
sense,
but
it's
you know,
it's
if
great.
it's not having the away rule in a different competition, but not in a league like India, because now if the season before when we finished, you know, above I think Mohun Bagan in the league, and we had to play semifinals, and the first leg we played in Hyderabad, and we had to play. We finished above them, and the second leg we had to play in Mohun Bagan. You know, so then you have to do a penalty shootout in front of 55K fans in the Salt Lake after finishing above them in the league table. So that doesn't add any other advantage, you know. So there are two ways. One, either the league is the league, the competition
Hmm.
is fair, that every team finishes in the place they deserve to finish, which is true. Or, like you said, cup is another cup, but runs like you say. Okay, you have to keep away goals or whatever, but is another cup. But the motivation will be more when you know the last date. You know, you win this game or you don't win this game. This is the last date of that particular competition. Then you push. It's not the same as ISL. You know, okay, I lose one game in October. I will play
Hmm.
three more games in October. I will play four more games in November, two, three more in December. But now teams are pushing because Goa know that in 4 days they can play another game or choose to, you know, fly back home or of course the Super Cup. But it's not going to be the same.
Fair point, guys. I'm going to start now winding down the show,
Don't
and
start
we've
winding
already
down.
done more than 50
Just
minutes.
wind down, bro.
Just wind it
हाँ?
down straight away. मतलब बंद कर दो
Yeah.
बस. Okay, thank you so much for watching.
और
Goodbye.
क्या?
Attack. ऐसे बंद करें?
ये-
ये क्या तरीका है बंद करने का भाई? गुफ्तगू हुई है आज. पुराने पापी आए हैं हमारे शो पे. भाई
अरे
गुफ्तगू चल
thank
रही
you
है.
guys
But
for
मैं
coming.
wind down कर रहा हूँ. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll have you guys joining us for the rest of the playoffs and the final as well. Just one quickly, guys. मैं Ishwak, from a Mohan Bagan Super Giant perspective, which has been the team to watch out this season, especially if you look at the league table and how convincingly they've topped that league table. Of Bengaluru and FC Goa, which do you suppose? And I'm assuming they're making it to the final just purely because of the dominance they've shown. It might be foolish of me to say that because it's cup football at the end of the day. 5 minute पहले वो बात मैंने बोली थी. But still, if I'm assuming if there is one team that can really challenge Mohan Bagan Super Giant in their dominance, which one would it be for you? Bengaluru होगी कि FC Goa होगी आपके लिए?
Oh, it's very difficult. I heard Goa. I heard the final will be in Goa, so I feel it's gonna be then. Of course, the FC Goa. That's what I came to know. Maybe it was I heard it's between Kolkata and Goa. If
Hmm.
the final is in Goa, then it's definitely Goa who's gonna be, like who can pose a serious threat to them. Beating Goa in Goa is not easy. That's what I look at that way. But of late, I think if you see the record of Bangalore, like the away matches with big teams, they have not done really well. If I'm not wrong, Joy, they have lost
Yes, yes,
again,
yes.
even in Goa, 3-0 in league with other all teams away matches. I think they have beaten only Kerala or Mohammedan and the teams who are not doing so good in that.
Hmm.
I think that is where the it's going to be big challenge for for the Bangalore also, whether mentally they are prepared for this. Like if you have already lost 3-0 there, and do you believe yourself that you're gonna do it in Goa the same way what you did? But having said that, like if Goa has the same service what they did today,
Hmm.
this match players were not ready. They were not gambling. Now they will watch the video. They will do the everything, And now it's going to change. There will be people gambling, though, going for these positions. As all the ISL teams, they have analysts, they have people like Joy who going to tell them everything, break down the game, why we didn't score and what was happening. And of course, they will see that we had created chance, we had put the balls where supposed to be, we put in box, and a striker come and score goals. They good, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be different game. I think tie is not for me over, first of all. And if Bengaluru wants to win, I feel if Bengaluru wants to win the league, I won't say if Bengaluru wants to go to the final, the cup. This is the match they have to come with a good result.
They have to. Yeah. It's been a while since they won a trophy.
I'm not saying they have to only put them 1-0 or win it 3-1 or 3-2. I'm saying if they convincingly beat Goa, then for me, Bengaluru is going all the way.
That'll be an interesting one. It'll be an interesting story because काफी time हो गया है. अर्जे हो गए since Bengaluru FC has won a trophy, and that too especially after a few seasons where it's been pretty negligible, if anything. Joy, Gabriel, Ishwaq, Emil, Siddhant, Danny. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this post-match show where we were talking back about that first leg semi-final win. Bengaluru FC ने भाई घर पे FC गोवा को 2-0 से यहाँ पे मार दिए. मनोलो मार्केस हमारे साथ जुड़ गए हैं शो पर और उन्होंने लिखा है I will take revenge in Goa. So we believe in you, coach, and we wish you all the very best. And we're expecting a good second leg game for that.
Of course,
and
we are neutrals. We want a fantastic match.
ये देखो ऐसे आए हैं जनाब ये वाले. ये देखो स्वागत नहीं करोगे हमारा Manolo Marquez. And now he's saying I will take revenge in Goa. So of course that will happen when that second leg happens. So first leg is Jamshedpur FC versus Mohun Bagan Supergiant. We will let you know on all our platforms when we're coming, if we're coming, and who all we're bringing with us to talk about that game. We of course plan to come throughout every day of the playoffs of the ISL. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.
Please get commitments from Joy and Ishfaq to join as well.
Yeah, we can do that. It's fine.
So Joy ने commitment कर दी है, and Ishwaq की भी मिल जाएगी, but Ishwaq अभी has a little more important at hand. So maybe I think he will also be focusing on that. Sir, उसके बारे में बातचीत करेंगे, show करेंगे आपके मैच से पहले. So what a fantastic scenario has been in the I-League yet again. So we'll talk to Ishwaq that this is not the, of course, platform for it. We'll make a separate show. We'll have an I-League specific show. And then we're going to talk about the season that was and also building up to that fantastic final day. Much love to all of you. Much love to all of you joining us on the show. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Good night.